Like I said, he went back to Dakota. Excuse me. He went back to Dakota, and basically, he his business there in Dakota. Dakota was like having a field day, like things like that. I forgot what issue it was, but yeah. But in some way, I think I will agree with you, Hex. Yeah, they came in with a big roar, and then it's silent. They're not as popular. Another person, where's Vixen? What's going on with Vixen? She was another one that was major. They started having her story. She started getting some big push where Anansi, the spider god, started messing with the total powers, where she couldn't gain the powers of the animal. So she started leeching superpowers from the Justice League. Things like that. She got her powers back later on, but after that, you don't hear from her no more. So yeah, there are some players in the DC universe, ethnic players, like you're like, yo, what's going on with them? You want to know what's going on, and hopefully a good writer would come along and explain that. And okay, so what's going on now with such and such in my book, and why Black Nick Fury? All right, good question. Another good question, Hex. Okay, we all know Nick Fury is Caucasian. He's white, the original. But because of the ultimate Nick Fury, I said it before, I don't like when artists use an actor as their model design. For example, Luke Cage at one time was being drawn like LL Cool J, and I'm like, whoa, now chill with that. He started looking more like LL, and then there was another guy that came along and started drawing him looking more like him. He's already got a big physique, but looking more like the stereotypical. He looking more like 50 Cent. That you can't do that to me. That's not right. Deodato, he draws Norman Osborn like Tommy Lee Jones. Okay, okay. But in terms of, I think Hitch drew Nick Fury at the first time. Even Samuel Jackson said he picked up Ultimate Avengers, looked in and saw Nick Fury, and he said, "Look, that's me. That's me." So basically, of course, they were going to have him play Nick Fury in the movies, and I don't agree with that. I could have seen an actor, a Caucasian actor, a white actor come along to play Nick Fury. You didn't have to do Black Nick Fury. And now he's getting more popular now than white Nick Fury, as you see in the more up-to-date Marvel cartoons, from Ultimate Avengers to Armored Adventures, Iron Man Armored Adventures. They had the Black Nick Fury mixed with white Nick Fury. Wolverine and X-Men, Black Nick Fury. Even Superhero Squad had Black Nick Fury. I'm not trying to say it's bad, but I don't think he's being way overexposed. You don't forget where the lineage of Nick Fury, and before there was this one first. And I think that's where a lot of people are getting confused with, especially with the Ultimate Universe. Some people are like, oh, well, I like Green Goblin, but I like the Ultimate version of Green Goblin. And I gotta agree, I like the Ultimate Green Goblin. I thought it was a cool concept. All the Goblins concepts were cool. They had Ultimate Green Goblin, Ultimate Hobgoblin. They were big hulking goblin beasts. But some of them you can't change too much. But this was a very good subject. A lot of good questions, Hex, that Hex has brought to our attention. Very cool. The last one he wrote was a joke. He wrote back to me saying it was a joke. I'm not going to talk about that one too much, but just think about what I was talking about, people, today, especially with Hex's question. It does have us thinking about that, because even though it may not be talked about as much, but I guarantee you it's still there in the comics when you read it. When you read the comics, sometimes it's like sometimes when you're reading. When I first read New Avengers, and they got Luke and all them together, Luke and Spidey hit it off great because they've known each other for a long time. But it was still like kind of like Luke Cage was out of the loop of all these other heroes. He's always been out of the loop because he doesn't wear a costume. He rocks street clothes. He's not rocking a mask or anything like that. When Bendis said when they asked him why Luke Cage, Bendis said Luke Cage is going to be the eyes and ears of the streets for the Avengers. And you know what? That's kind of dumb in my book. You know what I'm saying? He's going to take the Avengers places they've never gone for, like rural ghetto versions of Detroit or something like that. Places where old stomping grounds where he used to run his organization. Okay, I understand that, but don't put it like that. But other than that, guys, that's it, guys. It was very cool for this question to get out. Like I said before, I know I'm gonna get some hate from trolls that are gonna come on and say Hex is a racist. Hex is a racist. And I'm telling you right now, I back Hex all the way on these questions. Okay? And if you got a problem with Hex in terms of thinking that he's a racist, then you got a problem with me. You got a serious problem with me. Because I will not consider anybody a racist unless I hear them call me something, a derogatory name, which I've heard a couple of times, and I got on into them. But I back Hex up all the way on this question. But other than that, people, like I said, this is Mount Vernon Kid. You can now check me out on Facebook. Not Twitter, just Facebook's right now. Check out, subscribing to all the people's channels that I talked about, as well as subscribe to my sister channel, Mount Vernon Kid 1982. Enjoy the Dante tribute if you haven't saw it yet. Kickbacks, the music is great. You should enjoy it. The action is jam-packed. Watch Dante kick some ass and take names like no half-breed demon hunter has ever. But other than that, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace.